Okay, hi everyone. It's actually pretty late right now, and I'm actually gonna go to sleep because I have stuff tomorrow. And yeah, it's actually like things like preparing for like possible further travels, certain plans, and seeing the psychologist, work, getting some exercise and everything. But before I actually go off and sleep, I just want to make this video about the issue of validation, and also invalidation. So I think that most of us know that in the whether it's the early or the later periods of a relationship with like abusive narcissistic people, that there is like always that whole sense of invalidation that comes on. Okay, the reason why I'm talking about this is just because of something that I came across. It was actually a pretty funny video. It was a funny video, and I think I'll probably post it on later, just somewhere else within this YouTube, just as a kind of like a reminder. It was actually showing a clip from the K-pop group, the Korean pop girl group, Red Velvet. Yeah, like there were some members who were South Korean, some members who I think one member who was actually Korean Canadian, if I'm not wrong, Irene. Yeah, and I mean very pretty girls. Like I think that from what I heard, Irene has not have had any plastic surgery, but the thing was not just that, but it was actually the fact that they were in the clip showed them in North Korea performing. Yeah, that I believe it's actually quite a number of years before the COVID, you know, not COVID, the coronavirus and everything, before the pandemic, everything. Okay, so before the whole pandemic had set in, they were performing in North Korea. So in that video, the camera shifted between like close up on the girls in Red Velvet performing, doing the dance routines, and then later on the close ups and also zoom outs on the facial expressions of the North Korean delegates who were watching within the theater or the stadium. I think it's a theater. Their performances, and the thing is this: in the theater, their facial expressions were all just a flat poker face. They were not smiling, they were not laughing, they were not clapping, just stood transfixed, staring, yeah, with a poker face, a very flat poker face expression at Red Velvet performing their dance routines. And note, Red Velvet was not even dressed up sexily, they were dressed up, from head to toe in long sleeve jackets. So, what is it with this whole video? The whole video is like, you all know that actually the North Korean delegates who were watching it would have been sent out to some camp or the gulags or whatever, or some punishment if they had laughed and endorsed what North Korea sees as capitalist culture. Okay, so the caption on that video was North Korea's reaction to K-pop. Okay, why do I talk about this video? Okay, it might sound really tangential, not related, but actually it was related. Okay, you know why? I believe that I've said some stuff in my earlier videos, very early videos, about my experience with how this one of the ex narcissist, or what should I say, ex narcissistic groomer had this issue with me. Generally everything. Okay, I don't know what it's like. It's only 3 months of communication, everything, but 3 months of purported friendship, whatever. All that I had to face was just constant blow ups for no apparent reason. And one of the blow ups, or the fear of me, I mean my fear of the blow up, had to do with like the possibility that I might just get shouted at for no apparent reason, just because I was enjoying something like K-pop or a joke or something. Okay, this is what narcissists do. They get triggered by everything, anything. Sometimes the least likely stuff that you think that people won't get triggered by will trigger them off, and then that's when the whole things get started. You're always walking on eggshells. But why is it so? How does it play in? That I was telling, when I was posting this on my Facebook, I just told one friend who knew about the episode with that abuse, the situationship. I just told him that, I told that friend, doesn't this remind you, like, isn't it so deja vu of what I experienced in 2016, 2017? And it's not even just with the ex-narcissistic groomer, but it's also groomers, flying monkeys, okay? They love to disparage me about my interests, my hobbies, especially my connections to Korea, okay? I don't get it, okay? One of them, that particular so-called alleged photographer who was actually a friend, open and close the commas, of the ex-narcissistic groomer who turned out to have been a strange bedfellow, okay? I shan't speculate or describe any more about their relationship as bedfellows. We know what it means to be bedfellows. They probably had a one afternoon stand, one night stand, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to describe. I mean, it gets too graphic. But the thing was this. Why are they helping whoever that the ex narcissistic groomer is to terrorize me just because I have interest? And every time that the conversation came up to my interest, then you can witness the kind of sullen glower on their expression, the facial expression. A glower, I don't mean the glow, I mean a glower as in a glowing look of anger. Okay, when the blood rushes to your face, is red not because it's a happy face, but because it's a really angry face, and the blood rushes through the vessels in the on the head, in the face, in the brains, or whatever. Okay, that my dear friends, my followers, is narcissistic rage. Okay, and what does it mean actually? It might seem to be pointing towards the fact that they invalidate us. Okay, but at the same time that they are invalidating us, what did they do? They are also revealing that they feel invalidated by everything around them. They get triggered by virtually everything. Okay, that's why I don't really, nowadays I've been quite circumspect and careful about who I follow online. A person can claim that he or she is like a non abuse victim, but the one thing is that if they keep on going on this kind of agenda, blaming one particular sex, blaming all men, and then there's one particular female poster and that content creator who I won't name the person, but there are some people like that. They actually talk about how that even men who have been abused by narcissists, whether male or female narcissists, that especially if they've been abused by female narcissists, what she was doing was to claim that this man actually was trying to bait the female narcissist for sex. Okay, I can tell you honestly, not all men are like that. And then she said, oh, you know what, it's not for me, even if I encounter a male super empath. Why? Is it because deep down inside you really just hate men? I think that people should start realizing this. Hating people doesn't solve any issues. Okay, you're invalidating the male sex and the whole sex just because of the number of people you have encountered who are bad. Okay, and one thing is this: there are rotten eggs, rotten apples in the basket, but doesn't mean the whole basket is full of that. Okay, if you want to do that, you just throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Okay, and what makes you any different from the narcissist that you are claiming to hate and whom you claim have hurt you? Nothing much, actually, unfortunately. Okay, so right now I just want to go back and go and sleep, so I won't talk so much. But one thing is this: I realized one thing, especially over the years. I haven't been making so much content recently over the last few months, and I kind of decided that it's good to take a break. And every now and then, when I have ideas, everything, I'll just make a break, but make a video But the break is really doing me a lot of good because I don't feel that it actually is healthy to keep on dwelling. And as I always say, stop obsessing. There's a reason why we are supposed to take a break, and why you're supposed to see a therapist. They're gonna teach us methods to help us break off and break the trauma bond. Not stay in it. Staying in it doesn't help us. We can't be lingering and ruminating and saying, "Oh, blaming people." Okay, even if these people are to blame, where is our responsibility for ourselves? We need to start taking responsibility. Okay, and taking charge of our lives. So you know what? I came to the realization, even if other people do not validate me, I can validate myself. And one thing is this. I came from a culture, where such a thing called validation is really rare. But when I was in Korea, I mean, the times that when I lived there, even when I visited with my best friend, everything, whom I still call Hyung, because he's my brother. I mean, brother from another mother, yeah. I always say, sometimes with this thing called in Korean culture, we talk about zhong. Zhong means emotion or the sense of sentiment. Yeah, it kind of translates roughly to that, but it's very hard to actually translate. The whole idea of zhong, okay, there are different many words which are related to this. Like for example, injong. Injong means to validate, to recognize something or someone. Okay, so it also means human emotion, but zhong is also emotion. So my bestie, my brother from another mother always used to ask me, is there such a thing like zhong with Singaporeans? I said, not that I know this. It's not a very strong thing here, or even among Chinese culture, but or less so even among Canadian Chinese. That was where I was like in Canada. But even then, you know what? The Koreans practice a lot of zhong. Yeah, and that zhong kind of made me realize this thing. Like even if let's say others don't give me that kind of thing, the injong, okay, the recognition that I'm looking for, I can give it to myself. That is self-soothing. But other than that, one thing is really recognizing that I also have God. God will always love me. Regardless of whatever. I mean, He's not like looking. I mean, if He's not looking at us to sort of like get us to be that so-called seeking for the perfection just for the sake of doing it, because if He wants us to do it, then He'll give us the means to do it. Okay, He's not like a narcissist. Tell us to be that, and yet not tell us how to get there. Okay, that's not God. Okay, that's more like the devil with a narcissist. I mean, in them telling you, oh, you must get there, but they don't tell you how to get there, because why? They don't care two hoots about it. Okay, but God cares a lot about us. I mean, why else did He incarnate Himself as Jesus Christ? Okay, and I mean, I don't want to sound preachy or anything, but the one thing is this: we can validate ourselves, and ultimately recognizing also that God loves us allows us to recognize and also validate ourselves, because we know that we are not just anybody. Each of us have our own unique points, our strengths, our weaknesses, our peculiarities. Okay, and that's something to really, really take as a kind of lesson, and it's a very precious lesson and understanding. Okay, so anyway, I'm off now. I hope everyone has a good night. And yeah, because I think yesterday or today was actually, oh, no, not today, but yesterday was St. George's Day. It's one of those days in the calendar. I think that what happens with the Monday is that it's quite special because it's after the Pascha weekend, and then of course St. George is also seen as a kind of protector saint. He is the patron saint of Sakatvello, which is the country of Georgia. As you all know, Georgia now is undergoing quite a lot of changes as a country is trying. The people are protesting against the government imposing a bill, okay, which tries to restrict foreign non-governmental organizations, and so to restrict civil society. And yeah, so you know what, um, Saint George is the patron saint of Georgia, obviously. So may he be able to dispense the grace of God upon that country which I visited last year. Okay, and also over the beginning of this year. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite country. It's okay, but I had a pretty good time, regardless, except for the part of falling sick there. Okay, so I don't know about going back there because I kind of think that I seen most of what I really wanted to see over there. So yeah, and then the next thing would be to go back and visit places like Korea, okay, different cities and different towns, or if not, just go to a new country, okay, and visit again. Not visit again, visit for the first time in my life, everything or whatever. I mean, even visiting Israel, but not now. Maybe when the time gets better. Okay, so have a good one, everyone, and have a good day ahead on Wednesday, at least on my side. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.